Habitat's global missions. Just to clear, oh, now I can settle down. And just to be clear, Habitat does not give houses away. These new homeowners go through an application process, must show a need for a new home, the ability to pay, and a willingness to partner. They are offered low interest rate mortgages with monthly payments tied to their monthly income. They also must put in 250 hours of sweat equity on their home or a home of someone else. It's quite a process, quite a commitment, and quite an achievement. This afternoon we'll hear fantastic music performed by various groups, of which all members and directors have donated their time for our fundraising efforts. We'll see a few videos about Habitat for Humanity and hear from the CEO and Executive Director of Habitat Metro Denver, Heather Lafferty. Again, thank you for buying tickets and for being here, even though the Broncos are playing right now. Sit back and prepare to be wowed. But before we enjoy more music, Dennis Fodness, the president of our Holy Hammers Coalition, will come up and do the invocation.
Habitat for Humanity gives people the faith and opportunity to step outside their place of worship to create a community of compassion. As faith partners, we have a desire to put God's love into action. We are God's hands and feet, here to serve others and show them His love. We'll be provided the opportunity to work alongside future Habitat homeowners. We are strengthening our community and empowering Habitat homeowners to build a better future for themselves. Having a house gives me comfort, safety, strength, hope, and courage to keep on working and doing everything without hesitation. San, a Habitat homeowner in Cambodia. When we choose to give our time and energy and talents to serve others, we are taking part in God's work to share the love of Christ and give glory to God. With God working in us and through us, we can make a difference. Let us bow our head in prayer. Lord, draw us together as your followers that we might feel compassion and responsibility for one another. God, we thank you for giving us gifts and talents to use in service and love for others. As we gather today to hear your praises, call on us to meet the needs of those around us and far away to show them your great love. Help us to find the joy of sharing generously so that the world may know you. May we be good stewards of your blessings, and may many lives and hearts be impacted today. Amen.
Battle Hymn of the Republic, performed by bells, brass, and organ, directed by Jeffrey Harms. all, that was fantastic. Next, please direct your attention over my shoulder. We're going to watch a short video. If you haven't been out to a work site, you should give it a try. It's a really fun day. Now, please welcome the Welshire Celebration Singers to perform Allegro Spiritoso, directed by Sue Hahn. They're beautiful, thank you. And I think I said singers, but clearly they're the celebration winners. Clearly. Our next performance will be the Bells on the Hill from Lord of the Hills Lutheran Church, How Deep the Father's Love for Us, directed by Thomas Kuhlmeyer. Thank you, Bells on the Hill. Our next piece will be The Jubilant Celebration by Bethany's Carolines, directed by Jeffrey Harms. That was awesome. Is anyone else blown away at how they use the bells? I thought you just rang them and they're doing all sorts of cool things. And now please direct your attention. We're going to see another video on why we do what we do.
They realize they can focus on education. They can focus on coming home and doing their homework. They don't have to worry about people breaking into our home. Because of this house, I know my children will have a brighter and stronger education.
It's made a big impact on them. School-wise, we are now in a Jefferson County district, so they are going to a gifted and talented school that they qualify to go in, so that is huge as well.
We like it a lot better because it's JT, which allows us to learn an upgrade ahead. So I'm learning like 4th grade writing, my brother's learning 6th grade, everything.
College was always like a dream. It was like, oh, you have to go to college. Like, you should go to college. It would really help us, but it was never like, how am I supposed to go to college if we can't even afford our apartment? And we actually ended up closing the day of my 17th birthday. And it was kind of one of those things, it's like, okay, Habitat believed in me and my mom and in our future. So then I was like, okay, so I turned my whole high school career around. I ended up like graduating with a full ride to college, and so now I'm going into my last year, so I'll be graduating in May.
That education piece is so important, and it improves their graduation rates and is just fantastic. Next up is another group from Lord of the Hills performing Restoration. The group is Cantate Deo, directed by Thomas Kielmeyer. Thank you, Cantate Deo. That was moving. Up now is the Smithsonian's performing You Raise Me Up, directed by Lisa Lewis. Thank you, Smithsonians. When I hear beautiful music like that, I just want to be a part of it, and it took a lot of muscle control not to stand up and sing, so you're welcome. Next, please welcome once again the Rocky Mountain Brass Works to perform Praise from the Gospel Hall, directed by Doug Harris. That was fantastic. Thank you, guys. guys. No one knows the stories better than our next guest of how Habitat for Humanity changes lives. Please help me to welcome CEO, Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity Metro Denver, Heather Lafferty.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. What a wonderful way to come together this celebration. I am so thank you for inviting me to join your time together. First, I want to just take a moment to say thank you. Please help me thank all of the incredibly talented musicians who are giving their time this afternoon. Thank you. You're beautiful. I also want to give a quick shout out to Dennis Fondness for his leadership of the Holy Hammers Faith Coalition, to the team from Bethany Lutheran Church for hosting us this afternoon, and to Jack Anzar, Edie Brady, Melissa Waples, and Kevin Dempsey for their leadership in putting this event together. Will you please help me thank all of them for their work? It's hard for me to start with what I'm about to share this afternoon because today really is about beauty and celebration. But I want to share a couple of key statistics with you because it is important, I think, to keep the context of our work and especially the impact you have on Habitat in relation to what our community is experiencing. A national news outlet recently shared that the median home price of a single-family home in the Metro Denver area has doubled in the last 5 years. Denver's housing crisis is officially now headline national news. But how this change affects people in our community, it's not a happy story. So I asked you just to take a moment and think about what comes to mind for you as you hear about or you hear the words affordable housing crisis. For some, the image in our minds might be people who are sleeping in their cars or on the street. It might be a coworker you know who has moved multiple times because it is expensive when his rent goes up and he really doesn't have a choice. It may be a teacher at your children's school or at your church who has to drive 1.5 to 2 hours to make it in the morning because that is the closest she can afford nearby. It might even be closer to home. If you have a millennial sleeping on your couch or in your basement, even though he or she has a full-time job. The reality is that the affordable housing crisis in our community is significant. And it absolutely affects everyone. As parents, as neighbors, as employers, the lack of affordable housing affects each and every one of us. For people who are struggling to find stable, safe, and decent housing, the day-to-day stress and instability is truly paralyzing. At Habitat for Humanity, we believe that housing is the foundation from which everything else is possible. Our programs focus on providing hardworking families, low-income families, a chance for a hand up so that they can pursue their dream of stability and security achieved by owning a home. If technology works with us, we're going to show a map up here of the U.S. to drill down a bit on why this is such an urgent and critical issue to address in our community. As you can see on this map, it shows that the state of Colorado, for a family to afford a median-priced home, they may need to make more than $100,000 annually. We now are the 5th most expensive state in the country to buy a home. Now, if you have lived here for the past 10, 20 years or more, you've experienced the metro area's growth firsthand. And for those of us who who are lucky enough to own our home, that growth certainly has provided stellar housing appreciation. But what about the hard-working families among us who can't afford to buy their first home? Police officers and teachers, nurses and grocery clerks, healthcare aides, and restaurant cooks. These are essential community members who we all rely upon. Everyone, regardless of their income, wants the same stability and security that a home can provide. Today, there are a limited number of houses available in the Denver market priced below $400,000. Now, this lack of affordable inventory means that more families are moving into expensive rental market, and they're finding themselves moving very often. And each move is a transition that especially has a negative impact on a child's stability in school, and it adds stress to the entire family. Or, if they choose to stay put, they face the rising costs, and then they sacrifice the important necessities to make ends meet each day. Think about it. Choosing healthy meals or health care, gas money or utility bill payments. These are the hard choices that families are faced with when their housing costs are too high. Habitat for Humanity is focused on creating home ownership opportunities so that families have a different future, a brighter future. We know that when a family achieves a safe, stable, and affordable housing, it can change, and it does change, as you've heard in some of the videos, the trajectory of their life. Our research and experience shows that affordable home ownership is a catalyst for success for an entire family. Let's focus on the issue of education as an example. A recent Habitat study found that 40% of homeowners pursued additional education after moving into their home. One homeowner, her name is Dee, recently shared with me, she said, "Once I got through Habitat's rigorous program and learned how to build my own home, I decided school would be easy." And then she just cracked up, and she was like, "I can't believe I just said school would be easy." She almost failed out of high school. And yet now she's got her master's, and she is pursuing her doctorate degree. She was empowered and emboldened to strive for more. And what about the children who grow up in a Habitat home? 98% of kids growing up in a Habitat home here in the metro area graduate from high school. 98%. Now, as a point of comparison, the high school graduation rate for the entire state of Colorado, kids of all incomes, is 79%. Think about that. We're not in the education business, but kids are doing so well. For example, there's a child who I got to know, he's not a child anymore, his name is Muha, but his family, including his mom and his 3 brothers, became U.S. citizens after fleeing war-torn Burma. They experienced unimaginable atrocities, but they finally found their stability in a Habitat home. Today, Muha is a sophomore at the Colorado School of Mines. It's a long way from where his life began. Once a family's housing situation stabilizes and the amount they're paying for housing isn't more than 30% of their monthly income, everything starts to make sense. It creates opportunity. It creates breathing room. It allows a family to move from survival mode to planning for the future. So, let me just take a moment and get into the nitty-gritty of how we do this. And many of you know this firsthand. We build high-quality homes affordably. We are able to do this by partnering with future homeowners and so many volunteers like all of you to build these homes. In the next year alone, Habitat Metro Denver will serve nearly 500 people. We'll do this by building new homes, by renovating homes, by repairing homes, and helping seniors stay in their home, ensuring that low-income families have a good place to live. One community that we have under construction right now is Sheridan Square. When finished, this will be home to 63 hard-working families and will increase the home ownership rate in the city of Sheridan by 6%. Habitat homeowners will collectively pay what we expect to be about $77,000 annually, collectively, in property taxes. That's a lot of new income for the city of Sheridan. Now, second, as Habitat, we lend an affordable mortgage to families. We don't give our homes away, as Melissa shared. We build them at an affordable cost, and then we lend and sell them without a profit. Family or homeowners have an affordable mortgage with a below-market rate. This combination of building and then having an affordable mortgage is a combination that works. Our foreclosure rate is less than 0.3%. And finally, the third thing, we empower families. We teach financial literacy to all of our homeowners to ensure their success. They learn the importance of budgeting and saving and managing debt. Families are prepared to become homeowners and are willing to work so hard to make their dreams come true. So as I wrap up, I want to emphasize that none of this would be possible without the generous support from the community, especially our partners in the faith community. Your financial support plus your volunteer time is this essential combination that allows families to reach their full potential. Many of us are blessed with successful careers and lovely homes, and we have the ability to do something important for others, to help another family create the foundation from which everything is possible. I guarantee there is no better investment. So let's get back to our beautiful music and our celebration, because working together, we build great things. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Every time I feel tired from the work we do and frustrated with our fundraisers, I hear her message and it's like, yes, that's why we work. Next up is the Denver Bronze performing the first Noel, directed by Paul Gentry. Holy cow, Denver bronze. That was cool. Next, we're going to welcome back the Lord of the Hills. We're going to have the bells and voices together, directed by Thomas Kielmeyer, performing Irish Blessings. That was fantastic, Lord of the Hills, and that cello really added something. Way to go. We're going to have another video now.
A holiday surprise.
But for us right now, I think it's the best feeling in the world.
The best present any parent can give their child. A safe and secure place to call their own.
This is it, you guys. This is going to be our house.
It almost feels too good to be true.
This is ours? This is.
This is my room.
A beautiful reality starts to sink in, and it doesn't take long for the kids to get to the important stuff.
That one's yours. You're sticking with that.
They never thought they'd have the opportunity to pick their own rooms. Big plans are being made as the vision for a home of their own starts to take shape.
I want to add like some cloud, like paint clouds on it, and then add the stars everywhere.
No words can truly describe what it means to a dad.
We're excited for them. We knew that although the house is for us, it's for them, you know. In the long run, that was the ultimate goal, was to have a home for them.
It's been a long and difficult journey for Francisco, Lisa, and their 6 kids.
Where we're at now, you know, like you said, it's unsafe. We've had a few shootings in the few years that we've lived there, which is scary to have them run downstairs and hide in the bathroom because we don't know where it's coming from. You know, it's a terrifying feeling. We were homeless for about 2 years. We lived in motel to motel, and so I always told them I would do everything I could to keep a roof over their head, and one day I would make it a permanent roof. So I feel like I'm fulfilling that promise to them.
The promise fulfilled with the help of Habitat for Humanity. Lives changed, a bright future ahead.
It opened so many doors because we're like, if we're able to do this, what else can we do? We have, you know, plans and goals for the future that we never thought were even obtainable. It's made us so much more optimistic and better people. You know, we give back every opportunity that we can because we feel like this has been the biggest blessing we could ever receive.
You're happy, huh?
This has been my ultimate dream. This is it's definitely a miracle.
And now, ready yourselves. This happens to be my favorite song, and it's going to be performed by all of the Bells. Directed by Lisa Lewis. And you performed it beautifully. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. Now, introducing the next two numbers, we're going to combine all of the voices for May the Peace of the Lord and Down by the Riverside, Standing in the Need of Prayer, both directed by Kim Montrose. Thank you, all you beautiful voices. Now we welcome Pastor Brigitte Weir.
What a joyous afternoon, yes? Thank you so much. I am Pastor Brigitte Weir, and on behalf of my colleague, Pastor Gary Sandberg, the Habitat for Humanity team here at Bethany and Bethany Lutheran Church, welcome. It is an honor and a privilege to be here together this afternoon as part of this Habitat community. And so we wanted to say thank you for attending. Welcome to our space. It is our joy to host this event as many other community events. We hope to be together again soon, whether it's in community or in worship. And again, thank you, Habitat, for allowing us the honor and privilege of hosting this event today. And so now, as we continue with this event, I invite Melissa back up.
Thank you, Pastor. We certainly do appreciate Bethany's hosting this event. And now, before our final video, I have an update. The Broncos are ahead of Houston 17-16. Right. And now, for our final video.
Every child needs a place to call home. To call home. Every child needs a place
where they can grow up healthy
and learn and be safe. A place where they can play and dream and plan for their future. In the Habitat house, my parents helped build. In the Habitat house, my daddy helped build. My parents. My mommy and daddy. I study. I grow. I learn. I live. A house. A house. A house. A chance.
A future.
A house, a chance, a future. Are all in your hands. Your support can help put a decent roof over the heads of a family like mine.
Like mine.
Like mine.
I hope that you have all enjoyed these many terrific performances by people who worked so hard practicing and performing today. As I stated earlier, all of these individuals came here today to support the fundraising efforts of Holy Hammers, and all the efforts put forth by the Holy Hammers and our volunteers are in support of Habitat for Humanity Metro Denver, and all of their efforts are aimed at getting families into homes they can be safe in and proud of. Thank you, Heather, for being here and sharing with us and supporting our fundraising efforts. Thank you, performers and directors. It's been beautiful. Thank you for being here. Your presence and your dollars demonstrate that you care about people and our community. If you are moved by all of our efforts to give a bit more today, there will be a hard hat passed around by the ushers, and also volunteers are ready to assist if you'd like to donate by credit card. Give as you're able. Every dollar is greatly appreciated and well used. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening right after our final piece, Sing Joy, performed by all of our musicians, vocal and instrumental, directed by Kim Montrose.